Welcome, everyone. This is a 1-hour level 1 Vinyasa class. And if you have them, 2 blocks and a blanket might be helpful, especially if you're newer to yoga. Go ahead and have any other props with which you normally practice nearby. We'll start today in a comfortable seat. Coming to your mat and finding Sukhasana, either bringing one leg in front of the other or crossing one leg over the opposite thigh. This is uncomfortable, always the option to sit up on the knees instead. Beginning to settle into your comfortable seat. Coming to sit tall, stacking shoulders over hips. Let the palms rest down at the sides. And close down the eyes. Right away, begin to draw your attention to your breath. Close down the mouth, and first just begin to take notice of your breath qualities today. Noticing if it feels smooth and deep, or sticky and shallow. Over the next few rounds of breath, with your inhales, begin to pull the breath all the way down to the belly. Beginning to feel the belly rise on the inhale. And on the exhales, contracting the abdominal muscles, pushing the air up and out. Starting to engage the whole torso in your breath control. And on your next exhale, begin to activate your Ujjayi Pranayama, yogic victory breath control. If you're new to Ujjayi, to yogic breath, begin to create a slight constriction in the back of the throat on the inhales as you breathe in and out through the nose. Beginning to hear a gentle oceanic vibration. In yoga practice, we use Ujjayi to heat the body from the inside out, to guide our depth as we explore physical poses. Take 4 or 5 more rounds of Ujjayi breath, beginning to lengthen your exhales and match them to the length of your inhales. In my classes this week, I'm focusing on the theme of spinal twists. So we'll focus today on different spinal twists on the back, seated, and standing. We'll work to twist from the base of the spine. Our Ujjayi breath can help us to do this. Take one more deep round of breath here. Gently open the eyes as we prepare to connect breath and movement. On your next inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Interlace the fingers. Begin to press the palms toward the ceiling, drawing the shoulders down and back, engaging the abdominals, squeezing the navel in. Finding the longest position of your spine that you can. Good. Now moving through seated cow-cats. Take an inhale, push the palms toward the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the chin, press the palms forward, round the back. Inhale, lift the chest, reach the arms high. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift, maybe gaze starts to lift. Exhale to round. This time, inhale to lift, reach the arms tall. And on the exhale, bring left palm to right knee, right hand behind. Take another deep inhale, growing tall in the spine. And on the exhale, begin to twist to the right, twisting from the base of the spine. Each exhale, pulling the belly in and up under the ribs as the gaze begins to shift back toward the right. Take one more inhale, lift the crown of the head tall. And on the exhale, walk the hands forward, finding a gentle forward fold. Tuck the chin to the chest. Tent up on the fingertips. Begin to root down and back through the sits bones, starting to feel the shoulders open on the back of the chest. On your next inhale, walk the hands back in, and then switch the cross of your legs, switching whichever leg is in front or on top, and coming back to Sukhasana, sitting tall. On an inhale, reach the arms back overhead. Exhale, right palm to left knee, left hand behind. Take another inhale, lengthening the spine. And on the exhale, begin to twist to the left, striving to twist from the lower back rather than the shoulders or the neck. And then let the head and neck begin to twist any amount toward the left. Keep your Ujjayi breath moving here, pulling the breath through the side bodies. Take one more deep inhale here. And exhale, walk the hands back forward for one more forward fold. Deepening the fold this time, tucking the chin strongly, widening the shoulder blades on the back, and sinking the hips back. Getting into the armpit creases. Run the tongue over the teeth. Relax the jaw, the eyes, the eyebrows. On your next inhale, walk the hands all the way back in and make your way into tabletop, uncrossing legs and coming to stand on hands and knees, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Begin to press through all the knuckles of the hand in the center of the palm. Fingers are wide here. On your next inhale, belly drops, heart lifts, Marjayasana. Exhale, tuck the chin, pull the navel up, Italasana. Inhale, arch through the back, finding cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, finding cat. Continue this way on your breath, 4 or 5 more rounds. Creating our first vinyasa here. We often think of vinyasa as moving through yoga push-ups to down dog, but really vinyasa means connecting breath and movement in a special, intentional way. Take one more full round of cow-cats. We'll meet back in a neutral tabletop, engaging the full abdominal area. Take one more inhale here. And on the exhale, bring the legs together, sink the hips back for child's pose, Balasana. The forehead can come down to the mat. If the forehead doesn't reach, option to slide a blanket or block under the forehead. Bring the arms back alongside the body, palms up. Come back to your rhythmic Ujjayi breath. And take a few rounds of breath, noticing what's changed, tuning into inner qualities of heat through breath. And know you can come back here to Balasana at any point in our practice today to catch up with breath and to quiet the mind. On your next inhale, reach the palms forward, press up through tabletop. Moving to thread the needle, keeping hips right over knees, begin to root firmly through the left hand. Take an inhale, reach the right arm high. Exhale, thread right arm under left. Coming to rest on the right shoulder and right side of the head. Bring the left hand to the hip as you begin to open the chest up to the left. You can stay right here to take this deeper. Inhale the left arm straight up and exhale, hook the arm behind the back, catching the back of the clothing or maybe all the way to the inner right thigh. Keep reaching the top of your head away from you in space. Relaxing the mouth, the jaw. If you took the arm variation, on an inhale, sweep the left arm back up, and exhale, plant the left palm, press up through tabletop, and on an inhale, reach the right arm back up once more. Exhale, release. Shake out the hips, wiggle the legs. We'll move right on to second side here. Begin to root firmly through the right palm. On an inhale, sweep the left arm high. Exhale, thread the needle, left arm under right. Coming to rest on the left shoulder, left side of the head. Bring the right hand to the hip to start. You can stay right here. If you went further on the first side, option to reach the right arm high, and then release the right arm across the sacrum, maybe all the way to the inner left thigh. As you keep opening the heart up to the right. Notice if you're holding your breath here, keep the breath moving. If your breath becomes too shallow, backing out, enough so you can breathe smoothly. If you took the arm variation, on your next inhale, lift the right arm back up. And on the exhale, plant the right hand back through tabletop. And inhale, reach the left arm high. Exhale, lower left hand to meet right. Take one more inhale here. Tuck the toes. And on your exhale, lift the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Let the back of the neck relax. Let the gaze fall toward the mat, the toes, or maybe between the legs. Begin to press through all the knuckles in the hands, fingers spread wide. Press through the center of the palms, drawing the weight out of the wrists. Keep shifting the hips up and back as you sink the heels energetically toward the mat. Take one more full breath cycle here. On your next inhale, roll forward on the toes, coming into plank. Option to lower the knees here if the back is dropping. Either way, knees lifted or lowered. Keep pressing the floor away, lifting the belly up, squeezing the sides of the torso. Legs are straight and strong here, building strength. One more inhale here. On the exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Keeping the buttocks lifted for Ashtanga Namaskar. Toes stay tucked here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and back. Draw the elbows back as you lift the gaze forward. On your next inhale, slide forward onto the belly. Keep the toes tucked. And begin to hover the hands as you draw the shoulders together and back for Cobra. Bhujangasana. Lift the kneecaps, squeeze the quad muscles. Take one more inhale, lift the heart up. And on the exhale, plant the hands, press up through knees, and make your way back to down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 2 deep breath cycles here in your down dog. On your next inhale, bring the gaze between the thumbs. And on the exhale, come up on the tiptoes. Begin to tiptoe toward the hands. As many steps as you can take. Bend the knees as you need. Eventually coming to stand at the top of the mat and folding. Uttanasana, forward fold. Feet can be together, big toes touching. Your feet can be hips distance apart here if the hamstrings and hips are feeling tight. Take an inhale in your forward fold. On the exhale, walk the hands to the right, outside the right foot, keeping the gaze low for a twist. Inhale, walk back through center. Exhale, walk the hands to the left, keeping head heavy. And inhale back to center. Exhale, fold. Take a deep bend in the knees. Let the shoulders and head hang heavy. Begin to press through the feet. On an inhale, press down with the feet as you roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head and shoulders come last. Eventually meeting in Tadasana, mountain pose, at the top of the mat. Closing down the eyes in Tadasana, reaching through the fingertips. Tuning into that dual sensation of reaching down with hands and feet as you lift up from the very top of your head. Draw the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. Begin to lift the kneecaps, feeling the quads engage. Engage the glutes, tucking the tailbone as you draw the belly in and up, finding the longest spine you can. Now we'll put that all together, warming up the whole body with classical Surya Namaskar, sun salutes. If you're newer to classical sun salutes, we'll break it down, adding some extra breaths here as we go. Inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the right foot back, lower right knee, toes are tucked. Hold in here. An extra inhale, lift the heart high. And exhale, plant the hands and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank, option to lower knees. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Coming back to Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, sliding forward for Cobra. Hands hover, toes are tucked. Exhale, press up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot all the way forward. Lower right knee. An extra breath here. Inhale, reach the chest up. Exhale, plant the hands and step to the top of the mat. Fold. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, heart center. Second side. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the left foot all the way back. Lower left knee, toes are tucked. Take an extra inhale here, reach the heart up. And on the exhale, plant the hands and step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, rolling forward to plank, lower knees as you need. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, sliding forward, hands hover for Cobra. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, lower left knee once more. Take an extra inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, step to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, heart center. We'll take that whole set once more on the breath. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step right foot back, lower right knee, lift the heart. Exhale, plant the hands for downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward to plank, Phalakasana. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step the left foot all the way forward. Lower right knee. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, heart center. Last side. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step left foot back. Lower left knee. Lift the heart. Exhale, plant the hands for downward facing dog. Inhale, forward, Phalakasana. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, forward, Bhujangasana. Squeeze the shoulders back. Exhale, up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step the right foot forward, lower left knee, lift the chest. Exhale, step back, foot forward, and fold. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, heart center. Coming back to Tadasana, reach the arms down toward the feet. Lift through the crown of the head. Engage the full muscular body here. Close down the eyes and begin to shift the weight forward, back, right, and left. Do this 2 more times on your breath, tuning into your center of balance. Eventually coming to stand tall, shoulders over hips, hips over feet. Adding on here, open the eyes. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. An extra breath here, sinking up and down dog. Keep your Ujjayi breath moving. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Hips are squared. Exhale, step the right foot all the way forward between the hands. Leave the back heel lifted for high lunge. On an inhale, lift the torso, reach the arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, bend the front knee as you tuck the tailbone. Noticing if you collapse to the lower back, lift up with the belly muscles. For Ashta Chandrasana, crescent lunge. Take another deep inhale, reach the fingers tall. And on the exhale, lower left hand to the mat, right hand to right thigh, as you begin to open the heart to the right. Option to lower the left knee if this is too intense. Whichever version you're at. Inhale, lift the right arm high, stacking right shoulder over left. Parivrtta Parsva Konasana. Make sure that front knee is right over the ankle, keeping our knees healthy. And continuing to twist from the base of the spine, using the exhales to draw the belly in and up. One more deep inhale here. And on the exhale, lower right palm to the mat and step back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 deep breaths here. Always an option to rest in tabletop or child's pose instead. If you took another version, meeting us back in down dog when you're ready. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up and back, big toe down. Exhale, step all the way forward between the hands, back heel lifted. On an inhale, lift the torso, sweep the arms up alongside the ear. For Ashtachandrasana, high lunge. Tuck the tailbone as you lift through the abdominal wall, bending that front knee deeply. Make sure you can see your front big toe inside your knee. Take one more deep inhale here. Reach through fingers. On the exhale, lower right hand to the mat, left hand to left thigh. Option to lower the right knee if this is too intense. Whichever version you're taking. On an inhale, sweep the left arm high, stacking left shoulder over right as you open the heart up to the left. For Parivritta Parsvakonasana, revolved side angle. Keep pulling the top of your head forward in space as you twist from the spine. Take one more deep inhale here. And on the exhale, lower left hand to the mat and step back to downward facing dog. Holding here or finding a resting pose. Option to move through a flow on the breath. If you're flowing, inhale, roll forward to plank, lower knees as you need. Exhale, lower chest and chin. Inhale, sliding forward for cobra, hands hover. Exhale, press up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll all move toward a child's pose here. Take one more deep inhale if you're in down dog. And on the exhale, bring the knees to the outer edges of the mat. Big toes touch. And sink the hips back for wide-legged Balasana, child's pose. Forearms can relax to make this restorative, or you can tense up on the fingertips, getting into the armpit creases. So find length in the spine, walk the forehead a little further away from the knees, and then let the back of the neck relax. Once more, running tongue over teeth, releasing tension in the face, and noticing what's changed, mind, body, and energetic body through our practice of breath and movement. On your next inhale, press through the palms, come up through tabletop, and exhale, lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. On your next inhale, bring the gaze between the thumbs, and on the exhale, step all the way to the top of the mat and forward fold. Walk the feet hips distance apart. Catch the big toes with the first two fingers, cap it with the thumb. Bend the knees as much as you need here. Take an inhale, half lift, straighten the arms. And on the exhale, fold forward, letting the elbows splay out. Top of the head coming toward the floor as you draw the weight toward the toes. For Padangusthasana, hand to big toe pose. Using your exhales, pull the belly under the lower ribs, creating more space to fold the belly toward the thighs. On your next inhale, take a half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, let the toes go. Inhale, swan dive the arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, arms alongside the body. Take a big step back, coming to face the wide edge of your mat. Rotate the feet so the big toes are slightly in, outer edges of the feet parallel here. Bring the hands to the hips. Take an inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades and elbows back. And on the exhale, begin to hinge forward, leading with the heart, long spine. eventually folding all the way forward, bending the knees if you need. Option to bring the hands to the mat or to blocks. If you find that version, hands to blocks or mat, begin to plant through the palms, pressing the whole hand down as you draw the top of the head toward the floor. Maybe the gaze starts to come between the thighs. For Prasarita Paratonasana A, wide-legged forward fold. This is a great asana to build strength and breath work for inversions, arm balances, and yoga push-ups. On your next inhale, take a half lift. Lift the gaze. And on the exhale, plant the right hand under the face. Bring the left hand to the hip. Take an inhale here. Exhale, twist up and open to the left. You can stay right here, looking over the left shoulder. Option to inhale the left arm straight up, stacking left arm over right as you keep shifting the top of the head forward. Press through the outer edges of the feet so the feet don't roll in. Take one more deep inhale here. Exhale, replace right hand with left hand and bring right hand to the hip. Take an inhale, press through the left palm. And on the exhale, begin to open up to the right. If you went further on the first side, with an inhale, sweep the right arm high, stacking shoulders. Whatever version you're in, keep your Ujjayi breath moving, twisting only so far that your breath stays steady and true. Take one more inhale here. And on the exhale, lower right hand to the mat and walk both hands forward for a very wide-legged downward facing dog. Keep pressing the hips back in space as you root down through the palms. Let the back of the neck hang heavy. And take 3 rounds of deep Ujjayi breath. Begin to walk the hands back underneath the body. Bend the knees, bring the hands to the hips. And on your next inhale, stand all the way up, press through the feet. Heel toe the feet slightly closer together. And then step your way back to the top of the mat, finding Tadasana, mountain pose. We'll take a half sun salute, wringing out the body. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Syncing up with our breath here. Take one more inhale in down dog. On the exhale, roll forward to plank and lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, draw the inner thighs together, hands under shoulders. Begin to lift the kneecaps, feeling the quads get tight. Press the tops of the feet down to the mat. Moving to Shalambhasana, locust. On an inhale, lift the heart, draw the shoulders together and back. Hover the hands. Keep breathing here. Each inhale, lifting the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades back. Building strength in the back body. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, lower. Bring forehead to hands. And rest here. Softening the breath. We'll take another round of Shalabhasana. For Bring the hands back under the shoulders, squeeze the legs together. Press the tops of the feet to the mat. Take an inhale, lift the chest, hover the hands. This time, press gently through the palms, bringing a little more height to the chest. Now lift the hands back up. Can you hold the back body? Keep the breath moving. The last couple breaths, maybe the feet begin to lift, squeezing feet and legs together. Take one more inhale in your variation. And on the exhale, lower forehead to hands, bend the knees, and begin to crisscross the ankles back and forth, bringing out the outer hips, and catching back up with your breath. Re-extend the legs long, shoulders, palms under shoulders. Tuck the toes, engage the belly, and on an inhale, press up through knees or plank, and make your way to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. We're making our way all the way to a seat. Option for one more vinyasa flow on the breath, or holding here a child's pose. If you're flowing, inhale, roll forward to plank, lower knees as you need. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, sliding forward, toes are tucked, hands hover. Exhale, press up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take one more inhale if you're still in down dog. And on the exhale, lower the knees and make your way all the way to a seat on the mat. Extend the legs wide. This is a good place to use a blanket or a block if you have one. Slide the blanket right behind the sits bones, tucking it underneath you. This helps to tilt the pelvis forward, helping us to lift through the back of the spine, engage the abdominals. And if you don't have a blanket, option to begin with the hands behind the hips, lifting the heart forward. Upavishta Konasana, intense wide angle pose. Begin to flex the toes toward the body. Option to bring the hands in front of the body, building strength. Legs are engaged, shoulders over hips. We'll move toward a forward fold here. Take an inhale, press up on the fingers, lift the heart forward. On the exhale, walk the hands forward, long spine. Keep flexing the toes toward the body. When your spine is as long as it can be today, let the back of the head and neck relax. Option to place the elbows on the ground, bringing the chin to the fists. If you have more space, maybe forearms release, back of the neck hangs heavy. Again here, using your breath to guide your depth. On the inhales, pulling the crown of the head away from you in space. And on the exhales, contracting the belly muscles, creating more space to fold over the hips. And breathe. Notice if the tops of the shoulders lifted up to the ears, draw them down and back. And on your next inhale, walk the hands all the way back in, coming to sit tall. And bend the right knee, bringing the right sole of the foot inside the left thigh. If you're sitting on a block or a blanket, you can keep that there. Moving toward a side twist. Take an inhale, sit tall. Exhale, bring left forearm to left thigh. Walk the right fingers down all the way toward the left toes, and then rotate the right arm up and over the right ear as you open the heart toward the ceiling. Parivrita Janushirshasana, revolved head to knee pose. Keep reaching through those right fingers. To take this further, left arm can slide inside the left leg, So you begin to walk the left fingers toward the arch of the foot. Notice if the right heart collapsed, keep lifting up and out. Pull your breath from right fingers all the way down to right hip crease. Take one more deep inhale here. On the exhale, lower the gaze. Walk both hands forward for a bent leg forward fold. Tense up on the fingertips as you root back through the sits bones, tucking the chin deeply. On your next inhale, walk the hands all the way back in. And exhale, extend right leg out. Bring the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh for the second side. Come back to sit tall, shoulders over hips. Take a deep inhale, lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, bring right forearm to right thigh. Begin to walk the left fingers down all the way toward that right foot. And then open the left arm up and over the left ear for Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana. Keep flexing the right toes as you reach with those left fingers. To take this further, right arm can slide inside the right leg to begin to walk the fingers toward the inner arch of the foot. As long as you can do so without collapsing forward, keep lifting up and out. Take one more inhale, reach the left fingers. And on the exhale, lower the gaze. And once more, walk the hands forward for a forward fold. Lick the lips. Relax the mouth, the eyes. And on an inhale, walk the hands all the way back in. And exhale, extend both legs long, straight in front of you. Bend the knees, plant the feet together, drawing the inner thighs, the inner edges of the feet to touch. We're moving toward Navasana, boat pose for some core work. We'll start with the hands underneath the thighs. Take an inhale, lift the heart up as you draw the shoulders down and back. Begin to shift the weight back, feeling the heels lift. You can stay right here, toes to mat, engaging the abdominals, squeezing shoulder blades back. To take this further, option to lift the feet 90 degrees, bringing your drishti, your gaze, right between the big toes. Maybe one arm or both arms extend alongside the legs. As long as you don't collapse through the back, keep lifting up and out. Breathing deeply in Navasana, building heat. Take one more deep inhale here. And exhale, release. Plant the feet, wrap the arms around the legs. Release the back of the neck. Let it go. When you're ready, sit all the way back up. Re-extend the legs long. Draw the legs together, this time pointing the toes. Take an inhale, reach the arms forward, thumbs up. On the exhale, engage the legs as you look down at the belly. Begin to slowly lower to the back, chin tucked, gaze on the belly button. It's okay if the legs pop up. Eventually, lower, middle, and upper back will come to rest all the way on the mat. When you make your way all the way to your back, bring both hands to the belly, one palm on top of the other. Let the shoulders relax here. You take 3 deep rounds of your yogic breath. Good. Bend both knees. Plant the feet hips distance apart. If you have a block handy, you might want that for this one. We're moving toward bridge pose. If you have a block, option to make this restorative by sliding the block under the sacrum when we lift the hips. Otherwise, you can make this an active bridge. Bring the arms alongside the body, palms down. Begin to press through the inner and outer arches of the feet, keeping knees right over ankles. On your next inhale, press through the palms, press through the feet as you lift the hips as high as you can. Squeeze the leg muscles. Notice if the knees splay out, draw them back in, and then tuck the shoulders a little further under the back. Option to slide that block right under the sacrum and then release the hips, making this restorative, or simply holding yourself without a block. For Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. Option to clasp the hands under the body, drawing the palms together as you pull the fists toward the heels, helping the shoulders to tuck a bit further under the back. Notice if the chin lifted. Let the chin relax as you lift the chest up toward the chin. Take one more deep inhale, lift the hips high. Remove that block if you used it, and lower all the way down to the back, finding a neutral spine. On your next inhale, draw both knees into the chest. Let the head and shoulders relax on the mat, and begin to take circles forward and back, left and right, squeezing into the hip creases, starting to lengthen and slow down the breath. Using the breath to begin to cool down the inner organs, quiet the mind, soften the expression on the face. On your next inhale, squeeze the knees to the chest. On the exhale, lift the knees up and over to the left, coming to rest on the left side body for a spinal twist. Right arm extends out and back. Flip the palm down, helping the shoulder blade to relax. And if the knees are lifted or uncomfortable, option to slide a block or a blanket between or underneath that bottom knee. Finding a position where you can begin to relax and release. Maybe gaze comes over that right arm. It's a good place to shut down or soften the gaze. Jatara Parivartanasana, reclined spinal twist. On your next inhale, draw the knees back through center, hug them in. Take an extra breath here. On your next inhale, squeeze the knees in as much as you can. And on the exhale, lift them up and over to the right for a spinal twist on the right side body. Extend the left arm out and back. Flip the palm down to help the shoulder blade relax. Just like on the first side, option to slide a block between or underneath the knees. The knees are lifted or feeling uncomfortable. We're striving to keep the knees at or above our hip line, removing any arch from the lower back so we can get the full effect of the spinal twist. Wringing out the inner organs, rejuvenating them with fresh blood. Maybe the gaze or head turns over the left hand. Jatara Parivartanasana. On your next inhale, draw the knees back in. Exhale here. Take an inhale, lift forehead to knees, knees to forehead. Point the toes, squeeze the belly in and up for Uttanasana, wind releasing pose. Draw the shoulders down and back as you engage the abdominals. One more inhale here. And exhale, release. Point the bottoms of the feet up toward the ceiling and catch the outer edges of the legs, the ankles, or the feet. As you begin to draw knees to armpits, Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Option to find stillness here, or maybe rolling right and left, straightening one leg and then the other. If you have the space, option to clasp the big toes with the first two fingers, begin to straighten both legs. This can feel really nice in the lower back, helping it to sink toward the mat, releasing through the inner thighs. Taking a few more rounds of breath to explore this shape, and continuing to lengthen and soften the breath, adding a beat or two to the inhale and exhale. We're making our way toward our final resting shape. Over the next few rounds of breath, releasing the feet and legs, finding any props or clothing you'd like for Shavasana today. Eventually extending legs long. If you have a blanket, it might feel nice to roll up the blanket underneath the knees, helping the lower back to release on the mat. Another option is to place the blanket on top of the hips, giving a little extra weight, helping the physical body to sink into the ground beneath you. As you settle into your final resting shape, let the arms extend alongside the body, palms up, helping the shoulder blades to relax and release. Take a moment to tuck the chin just enough that the back of the neck grows long. Let the feet splay out as they do. Shut down the eyes if they're not already. And at the bottom of your next exhale, turn off your Ujjayi breath. Let your yogic breath go. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. Feel the breath grow shallow as the abdominal muscles relax. The back of the throat relaxes. Letting go of any focus or effort on asana postures and pranayama breath control. Simply preparing to hold yourself in this resting shape to allow the effects of your practice today to integrate mind, body, and energetic body. We'll take a body scan to relax and soften the whole body from crown to feet. I'll say a part of the body. When I say that part, engage it, focus on it, and then release and relax there. We'll start with the crown of the head, the forehead, both eyebrows, the eyes and the sockets, the nose, both cheeks, the lips, the teeth. Let the tongue release from the top of the mouth, the throat and jaw, both collarbones, the tops of the shoulders, the chest, heart center, Anahata chakra, the abdominals, the navel, the solar plexus right between the lower ribs, both hips, the pelvic floor, letting go of any micro muscle holds there, the biceps and triceps, the elbows, the quads and hamstrings, both kneecaps, the ankles and wrists. Finally, engaging all 10 fingers, all 10 toes, and let the full body release and relax. Beginning to tune out physical sensations in the space around you. Finally, shutting down my cues, tuning out my voice as you come to rest easy in Shavasana, corpse pose. Use your next inhale to begin to reconnect to breath and body. Taking your time, beginning to feel the belly rise on the inhale, and letting it go. Taking notice of any new qualities or sensations you've cultivated today through your practice. And know you can bring those with you when you leave your mat. And what we do with yoga postures and breath is just preparation and practice for the rest of our days. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Gently roll the neck left and right, yes and no. When you're ready for movement, reaching the arms up and overhead, finding a full body stretch like you just woke up in the morning. In your own time, draw in the knees. Make your way to the right side body, finding that sweet fetal position, allowing a few rounds of deep, full breaths there, in this shape of new beginnings, new life, new perspective. No rush or urgency. When you're ready, gently press your way back to a comfortable seat. We'll meet sitting tall as we begin our practice together. On an inhale, bring thumbs to heart center, Anjali Mudra. We'll close our practice with a mantra to teachers, all the teachers that have come before and the teachers that will come after. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Akanda Mangalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. The light within me honors and respects the light within you. Thank you. Mil gracias.